This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
What's up, everybody? Ricky Widmer here, along with fellow man-child Johnny Karlic.
Ricky Dicky Davy, bitches!
And we are back for the Rick and Johnny podcast right here on Most Valuable Podcast, your one-stop shop for nerdy news. We talk about movies, superheroes, comics, really anything. Like I think I'm going to start saying it as our own, anything under the nerdy sun.
Yeah, that's...
Anything under the nerdy sun, we will touch.
Yes,
we will touch
the two suns.
In one way or another, we will touch.
I hope you got that nerdy reference.
Yeah, it's Star Wars.
Yeah,
you made it the last time, too.
I did,
yeah.
and you shamed me for it
and
for
I
some
shamed
reason.
you. I don't know why I did.
I don't either. That's horrible on your part.
One son, not two sons.
There's
I mean,
two sons because it's...
I know, but we only have one son here.
But Star Wars, it's a reference.
I know it's a reference. I get it. Fine, the two nerdy sons.
Thank you.
It just sounds weird saying
You
under
sound
the nerdy
weird.
sons. Under the nerdy sun is what I want to go with. Besides the point, we're digressing from the point. We're going to start the podcast. We got some great topics for you. But before we do, a little bit of housekeeping. Number one, you want to help support us, make sure to check out patreon.com/mostvaluablepodcast. Just put up a video. If you're a graphic conversation fan, make sure to become a patron actually by tomorrow, because this is going to be going up on Saturday.
I think my watch is broken.
Make sure to become that patron because, you know, you're going to get it a week early. Where this year, for just $1, if you're a $1 patron, you get a graphic conversation a week before everyone else. Also, if you want an MVP t-shirt with our logo on it, make sure to check out the store down below in the description. MostValuablePodcast.com. That's where you're going to catch everything for MVP each and every day from all of our platforms. Check out The Outcast, new podcast with Buzz and Juice. And then last but not least, make sure to go onto iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. It would mean the world to us. But Johnny, we got a jam-packed show talking a little bit about the X-Men. Basically, what the hell's going on with the X-Men? Then we're going to dive into an MCU theory about Captain Marvel maybe being from a alternate or a different timeline than the MCU. Then we're going to end the show talking about Aquaman. Should we be worried that we have not seen a trailer to this point? But let's jump in. Let's talk about X-Men. And really the only way to start this one is just what the hell's going on with the X? Like what I said, what the hell is going on with them? Because
not really.
Dark Phoenix, we were supposed to get that at the end of the year, November 2nd of 2018. We got to wait until Valentine's Day of 2019 now for that. And then New Mutants, that was supposed to be February of 2019, the weekend after Valentine's Day. Now we have to wait until August for that. There are also rumors that with New Mutants, and this is the one that I was like, ooh, that can't be good. The article states, and I will read it, it's now being reported that the New Mutants could result in almost half the movie being refilmed in an effort to add characters and make the whole thing scarier. Johnny, what's going on with the X-Men? What's going on with them?
That's hard to say. I mean, let's put... Deadpool was pushed back too. I mean, not by much, but it was pushed back too, wasn't it?
But the Deadpool thing, that was the whole, we don't want to compete with the Avengers.
Yeah, I get that, but I'm just saying, it seems like a pattern is going on. And I'm getting rid of that out of my pocket. With Fox, yeah, because, I mean, we pushed back Deadpool. Yeah, I get it, so we don't compete with the Avengers, because who wants to go up against Infinity Wars?
And that one was done.
Yeah.
Like, Deadpool was done.
They just pushed back the date.
They didn't need to reshoot much at this point.
But now we're pushing back Phoenix from end of the year to beginning of next year, and we're pushing back and redoing about half apparently of
New Mutants.
Thank you. I don't know why the name couldn't stick.
You're like the movie I've completely forgotten about because I was excited about it when we watched the trailer. Then I've heard nothing about it.
Absolutely nothing about it.
Except for bad things.
Yeah, except bad things. So I didn't hear anything about it. And I have to wonder if this has something to do with the deal that's going on. They're trying to sell off. Well, I'm not saying in general with Disney. I'm saying just in general, like trying to make the deal of like if it's somewhat interfering with the interactions in the movies and stuff. Just because
I could buy that.
Just because like there's contract negotiation stuff going on. No, we have to put this on the back burner because we have to focus on this thing.
And there was a group on the internet there was a community that would always ask like, well, why is Fox going ahead with Deadpool and they're going ahead with X-Men and all this if Disney's just buying Fox and everything's going to change once why are they continuing to make these plans? Not necessarily like the ones this year.
Yeah.
Obviously, the movies you have this year, like Deadpool, go ahead and put that out.
Yeah.
But it's like, why are you planning, we're going to do this X-Men movie and this Kitty Pryde movie and this and that? And it's like, but why? By that time, shouldn't Disney own the rights to this and you don't have a say in this anymore? And I thought about that too. My first thought was, push it back. Maybe the Disney deal will be done by then, lawyers and stuff, and they'll be able to work it out. Well, there's another article that says, and the headline just reads, don't expect to see X-Men in MCU until at least 2021. And that could be not necessarily just the deal in general, but, and this is something X-Men compared to MCU, MCU has a plan. Marvel has a plan.
Yeah.
X-Men, I don't think have a plan.
No, not after,
X-Men, I'm getting a very good vibe of, all right, we did this movie, cool. Now let's think about the next one. Where MCU is, all right, we're on these 5 different movies. Exaggerate. We're on 5 different movies. All right, we're
exaggerate.
But they're only putting out 3 a year.
Yeah, I know. But
it's like, all right, we've got all these plans all the way up until 2021.
Disney is planned out for 8 movies in advance already. Mm-hmm. Where Fox, maybe 3. Maybe 3. Because look at it this way. They're talking about Deadpool. They're talking about Phoenix. And they're talking about New Mutants. Mm-hmm. Those 3 are the ones they were focused on. They're like, okay, guys, we can add it. It's like basically we can add another movie idea in once we finished one of them. Yeah. That's what Fox is doing. Fine, they're doing good in that realm, but since they're selling out, I just, like I said earlier, I'm wondering if it's something to do with that, with all the contract stuff and trying to figure out what's going on. And I mean, the other thing pushing it back is when the deal. Well, they're finding out, okay, what date is we doing it? What money can we get out of this still? Mm-hmm. Is it worth us pumping out another movie? All those things come into play, because does Fox want to dump a bunch of money into a movie when they're selling it, let's say next year? Mm-hmm. We don't, as of next year, we don't have the rights. Yeah. Are we really going to pump out a movie when are we really going to put more money into this, yada, yada, yada,
You're talking about Fox?
Fox, yeah. Are we going to spill more money into this when, as of next year, we don't have the rights to this stuff? Mm-hmm. We're not going to be able to finish it or whatever.
Yeah, and I mean...
And I'm not saying that's the exact case, but I'm just saying as an example.
Well, it's a tricky situation for Fox.
Yeah,
because, it's exactly what you just said. Why wait? I don't want to use the word waste, because depending on how much a movie,
the movie you have done, yeah.
What was the last one? Wasn't Days of Future Past? It was Apocalypse.
Yes.
Let me just see on Wikipedia, X-Men Apocalypse. I'm gonna pull up how much it made. No, not actors. I had it, and then I hit enter, and it was no, I'm changing it to actors.
Oh, we want you to look at the actors instead.
So X-Men Apocalypse made So it's budget. Yeah, it's not like you're going to lose money when you do X-Men, because the budget for Apocalypse was about $178 million. The box office was $543.9 million.
And I'm not saying you're going to lose money, but I'm saying more of the fact of, why, they're maybe thinking, well, let's see what the dates that are being negotiated are, because, excuse me, if we're going to pour money into it, because obviously when you're making a movie, you're pouring money into it, hoping it exceeds. And obviously with the newer X-Men stuff, definitely with Marvel and with DC, I was seeing what your reaction is when I say that.
All right.
You're making more money than you put into it.
I wonder if do you think, all right, this is a little
I think Batman v Superman made more than what they put into it.
You think so?
I think they did. I don't know about how much, but only because, they kept making DC movies.
So the budget in gross was $300 million.
Okay.
The budget net was $250. Box office for BVS was $873.6 million.
So not much.
No, they made $500 million.
Oh, yeah, right.
The box office was 873. So
Yeah.
they made that much money.
Yeah, they made okay, which is why they made more of the movies and stuff like that. But that's what I'm saying though. It's like Fox A is gonna start losing these because they're selling their entertainment rights, and I think that what the whole idea is like they're probably just waiting for some of the negotiations, some information. Say, do we pour more money into this, or do we just kind of let it fall under the radar and let Disney take over?
Well,
and
because it's a different situation than Sony.
Yeah,
because
Sony made a deal with them and they're keeping their rights.
Yeah, they're keeping the rights, but Sony's also a all right, because Sony's in the position of even if they were going to sell their film department, because there have been rumors about that too.
Oh, have
but
there?
rumors like base level things. I'm not saying don't go away from this podcast going, Ricky said that Sony's going to sell their movie department to Disney, but if they were going to, by doing the Spider-Man thing, having their own universe, they're making their product a good product. Like, oh, I want to buy that. With Fox at this point, unless you do not want Disney to have it and you want, let's say, a Comcast, because that's another company that I've seen that tried to get in and buy them.
Bid in on that.
Unless you want to make it more appealing to an outside company to bid out Disney at this point, that's the only reason to make, like, I'm in a catch-22 in my head.
Yeah.
Because the business side of me goes, just stop. Just stop with all the plans. Make the two that you have. Wait for the deal to go through. Goodbye. See ya. It's kind of like, you know what?
So long, and thanks for all the fish.
We've had this child for so long. We've had it for the weekend. Probably had it longer than we should have. You're gonna go over to the other parent, and I know that you'll be happier over there. That's kind of what I'm thinking about with X-Men.
No,
they're going to be happier in the MCU. And more so, we're talking just with X-Men. Fantastic Four is going to be happier in the MCU because maybe they'll get somebody who actually knows something about them to give me a movie that's not Fan-4-stick.
Yeah. Well, that's like they're with the parent that doesn't get them at all right now. Yes. They want to go back to that parent that understands them. That's what that would be like.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like. But like with the catch-22 in my head is, yes, I'm on the side of, hey, you know what, just give up. You lost. X-Men's going over to Disney. Just let it happen.
Yeah.
But then there's a part of me that's like, no, try to make as much money as you can off of this.
No, and that's what I get.
Before the deal happens. Because just because it's X-Men, people will go and watch it.
Exactly. And that's what I'm kind of saying is, you know what? They're just probably like, there's just contract negotiation stuff going on with whoever they're selling it to, if Disney's official or if Comcast is trying to swoop in and do that. But either way, here's the part that comes into that is they got to figure out what dates are going to do when, because it's like, hey, if we can't get this movie done by then, we should probably stop putting money into it.
Yeah.
And that's
how much money have we wasted? Like,
how much money have we wasted now? How much should we?
For example, and I don't mean to cut you off, but this is, you just popped it into my head.
Yeah.
Was I saw news this week of new Gambit production start date revealed, and part of me is just like, just kill it, just kill the idea,
stop bringing it up.
I would love to see Channing Tatum as, like, that's another thing that like they're trying to, that I feel like they're trying to go off of like, oh, let's put this guy, because didn't Channing Tatum play Gambit in the Wolverine movies?
No, I was someone else. I'll go look it up.
Oh no, that was the guy from Friday Night Lights. That's who it was. Taylor Krish or whatever. That's who it was. All right, my point. I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say then, because like Ryan Reynolds, oh, you did good in this guy is Deadpool. Let's put you in a Deadpool movie.
I'll be honest, I liked him as Gambit, the guy from the Wolverine Origins.
I did too.
Had they brought him over, that would have been like, okay, we got him as Gambit still.
What I'm saying is, like with the Gambit thing, just let it die. Honestly, just let it die at this point.
Yeah, just stop bringing it up. Stop planning it.
Like, I was excited when you brought it up, and now at this point, it's like New Mutants, for example. I was excited.
Because it looked good.
It looked really good. It's got Maisie Williams in there. It's got Jonathan from Stranger Things in there. It's going to be a horror movie take on the comic book genre. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. You're kind of playing with the genre.
Yeah, like they're doing with the other movies.
But now it's like when news comes out that you're having to reshoot
half the movie,
half of your movie, that either tells me that your movie fucking sucks, or that 2, and I know how it says in an effort to add characters and make it a whole lot scarier, that probably tells me that your film probably went through the preliminary of testing, and 1, your test came back at, this is supposed to be a horror movie, or 2, actual comic book fans are like, well, why isn't this person in here? Why isn't this person in here?
Yeah.
And now, whenever I hear like add at this point, I always get that worry of, is it going to be too much? Are you adding too many characters to the pot to where I'm going to be like,
yeah, it gives you a BVS worry.
Exactly.
Because like that's
on a lesser scale, because I don't think this is on a Batman Superman.
No,
scale
I'm
of
not saying that. I'm
popularity.
saying as the general concept.
Yes.
Not as like the same exact.
This
worry.
could be worse than BVS. You're right.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is like I'm saying, is it like there? My main gripe, and I know one of your many is you guys added way too much into BVS. I'm not gonna make this a whole BVS hype.
Should have been 2 movies. Point and simple. Simple.
Just take a few things out. You put way too much into there. But to go back to what we're talking about,
Martha. We're best friends now.
Anyways, no. That's the thing that gets me worried too. Is like, do you really need to add all these characters? This is your first movie of New Mutants. Let's just stick with what you guys have. Just if you got to reshoot to make it scarier, reshoot to make it scarier. But you don't have to reshoot necessarily to adding characters, because you and I will go to, if we were to go to a screening of a movie to judge it, you and I could go back and forth, and depending on like what genre it is, say, oh wait, why isn't this person in here? Why isn't this person? And that shouldn't be necessarily what draws the line at, oh, we need to add more people in.
You know what else I didn't think of?
Huh?
Both of these movies, New Mutants and Dark Phoenix Saga, have 2 actresses. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. So
Yes.
I'm looking at a different article here, and it says, update, it's been reported that Dark Phoenix's delay has been heavily influenced by reshoots in response to test screenings that, due to scheduling conflicts with star Sophie Turner, Game of Thrones, New Mutant, Maisie Williams, Game of Thrones, couldn't take place until summer 2018.
Well, that's a huge influence. I did forget that both of them have something in common.
Part of me was thinking about that, but like Dark Phoenix Saga now, so both of these are being delayed because of reshoots, and this article, at least for Dark Phoenix, we know for sure, in response to test screenings. So that means your film went to test screenings. I'm assuming the test screening, they didn't like it. That's what I'm assuming.
Or didn't like it as much as you were hoping they would.
Didn't like it enough to say, hey, let's put it out here.
Yeah.
With that point, I would just tell Fox, just do these 2 and then let Disney have it.
Yeah.
Just do these 2, let Disney have it. You're embarrassing yourself.
Yeah. There's one thing I did want to bring up. First off, to finish off what you were saying, I agree with you. Actually, I didn't even think about that. I forgot that both of them have one character in common for Game of Thrones each. So it's like, oh shit, they're supposed to come out 2019.
Yeah.
I forgot what month. April, I think it was.
I think so. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, you look it up while I finish this up. So I forgot, A, that they have something in common, and B, that would make a lot of sense if they have to reshoot for Game of Thrones. Well, they're going to reshoot for Game of Thrones because that's their final season.
And HBO's probably paying me a lot more than Fox.
Yeah, definitely.
I get that it's TV compared to movie, but it's HBO TV. I'm assuming they're getting a little
got
bit
some
of
money
cheddar.
to put something.
Plus, Sophie Turner and Maisie Williams were probably under contract before these movies. Yeah,
because they were in Game of Thrones before they were in, so they're probably right. They're under contract,
and you're not going to throw away that Game of Thrones cheddar.
No, but yeah. So the other thing I wanted to bring up was, you know what you said is 2021 or 2020 that Fox
2021
before Disney will put any X-Men.
They said the article
before you see the X-Men. Yeah,
don't expect it before 2021.
Now they said the X-Men before you see the X-Men doesn't mean we can't trickle people in there here and there. Wolverine,
X-Men, the whole thing is the deal's got to be done for Fantastic Four, X-Men, whoever, Silver Surfer, Galactus, whoever,
that whole area. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, I mean, let's say that deal gets done 2019. They're done with it. They like, obviously, I think they'd write in like, hey, let us put these movies out and make the money off of them, and you guys have the rights to it. Without, like, we can have these movies out and make the money off of it. You guys have the rights to it as of this date. Excuse me again.
Yeah, I'm just finding 2019
So what I'm thinking
for Game
though,
of Thrones.
So what would think though is like, hey, if they really want to start introducing them, I mean, 2021 would be a fine date to shoot for, but I would say they can even like Wolverine, and I know this is a hard one for us to pull in somewhere, especially with just having Hugh Jackman finish his role after what it was 17 years.
I don't care. Recast Wolverine.
Exactly. Oh, we're gonna recast him. And
I won't give a shit.
You can throw him into Avengers. He's part of the X-Men. He's part of so many different groups. That's one person you can kind of throw in there and say, yeah, he joined the group, and then that's how you pull in the X-Men.
The only
and I'm just saying that is a way.
I thought about this week too.
All I'm saying is that's a way to kind of like start tying in the X-Men into the universe now.
Yeah, and part of me was like, you know what? I was actually thinking about that.
Yeah.
And I think it's because it's like, Spider-Man on a different category because it wasn't one character for 17 years.
Yeah.
But at this point, I'm like, just recast him. Just give me Wolverine.
I agree. I agree.
Give me Wolverine. Like, Wolverine, Fantastic Four. Give me these guys in the MCU.
Because, I mean, we even made a reference to, I don't know how we got the rights to, but I think in Captain America Winter Soldier, there was that reference made to Reed Richards.
Yeah.
Where they were targeting everyone who's a problem. It's like, there you go. At least like there's some reference to them in there.
Yeah.
There's not really any reference to X-Men because we can't use mutants in Disney now.
They're miracles, Johnny.
Yeah, they're miracles.
They're little miracles. They're little Hydra miracles.
Yeah, they're little Hydra miracles.
Little who was that? What was the general's name? It's not Von Strucker.
Yeah, it was Von Strucker.
Was it?
And, yeah, because the one you're thinking of who was Civil War was Zemo.
Yeah. It wasn't Zemo.
Von Strucker was in charge. I don't remember the scientist's name.
Wasn't the scientist the same one that was in the computer?
No, you're thinking of...
I'm thinking of Red Skull's
Red Skull, that would be Arnim Zola.
Yeah, that guy.
Yes.
That's him. These names, they all just mush together and kind of go through. But
you need to learn your Hydra officials, Ricky.
I want to bowl you guys into discussion if you guys haven't already. What do you guys think down below? What do you think's going on with the X-Men? Are you concerned about any of this? Because, like... I am. I'm not excited now for, especially New Mutants.
I'm excited,
but
I'm concerned.
Not excited for New Mutants now after this. But yeah, let us know what you guys think down below in the comment section.